Today we'll be speaking to Al Ruth, Product Line Manager for Viavi Solutions. Plant integrity has always been key to successful HFC network operation, and leakage has long been the best way to maintain a tight network. HFC networks are changing faster than ever today to keep up with the broadband demand, creating challenges in how operators can apply many critical test and measurement capabilities. Let's drill into these challenges a little bit deeper. So the elephant in the room is high split. Aeronautical band moves to the upstream. You can't inject tags in the downstream anymore. FCC is not showing any relaxing of the monitoring requirements. So how is Viavi addressing this architecture change that will break how leakage monitoring has always been done, Al?
Yeah, so good question. So let me start off by saying that the industry itself has looked at a few different ways to try and tackle this. They tried putting in notch filters in the upstream to allow for the signals to reverse between the upstream and downstream. They even tried doing an upconversion of that particular type of signal, and even going as far as having the CPE actually try and transmit the legacy tags at 138 megahertz. What the industry is actually looking at right now is something called OUDP, and this particular type of technology or process is actually part of the DOCSIS 3.1 specification today, which means that there isn't a whole lot of R&D or extra development that's required. But the biggest problem right now is that a lot of the legacy type of test gear and leakage equipment just cannot handle these type of bursts.
So how is Viavi trying to plan to tackle those challenges?
Yeah, so good question. So with the Seeker X, we are looking to develop on it. We have a software-defined radio built in to the Seeker X, which means that we can basically allow a firmware update to the device. And once that firmware update is in it, it can actually then go out and look for these type of OUDP signals. And what's nice about this is because it's already in place, the technician basically can continue to do what they do on a regular basis, cleaning up the plant, going all the way up to 204 megahertz, getting the plant ready for 204 megahertz now. But then when the actual implementation of it comes around, they can then do a firmware update to the Seeker X via our Mobile Tech application and be ready once the OUDP goes live.
Looks like you have a good handle on the high split challenge. What are some of the changes in HFC networks that are impacting signal leakage, and how have you adapted?
Distributed access architecture, or DAA, has become a big part of the overall network and architectures. And with the DAA, what we're doing is we're working with the network equipment manufacturers very closely. We're getting them certified in our lab for our test-ready program. And what we're doing with that is once the RPDs have gone through the certification, they can actually become the leakage tag themselves. So there is no need for additional hardware back at another location because the RPD out in the field is actually that source of the signal. And what that allows for is the technician essentially to just continue to do their job like they've always been with the leakages today, but then just having the DAA architecture in place and having them actually transmit those signals allows the technician to seamlessly transition between a DAA type of network or a non-DAA type of network.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Does DOCSIS 3.1 have any impact on signal leakage?
Yeah, it has a pretty big implication, really. So one of the big things about DOCSIS 3.1 was the frequency extension. So, it goes all the way out to now 1.2 gigahertz. And the introduction of OFDM was also part of the DOCSIS 3.1 specification, which was pretty big. Both of these create new challenges, but the Seeker X itself is a super frequency agile device that can go all the way from 130 megahertz up to the 1.2 gigahertz that we were talking about. And so it can cover that entire new frequency range that you used to not have ability to go look at, as well as the Seeker X can go and actually utilize the OFDM channel itself as a tagger, because keep in mind that OFDM channel can be 192 megahertz wide, creating a huge void in your plant where you used to be able to do this type of leakage monitoring. But allowing us to actually use the OFDM carrier itself removes any of those type of barriers.
To learn more about this innovative solution or to schedule a demo, please visit viavisolutions.com or reach out to your local Viavi sales representative.